Did you know there's an organ in your body that's built for just one single mission, and then it just disappears? But get this, its influence can last your entire life. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the secrets of one of the most misunderstood and, frankly, most fascinating parts of human biology, the placenta.
Yeah, when you think of the placenta, you probably picture a simple pipeline, right? Kind of like a biological delivery service. But saying that's all it does? Well, that's like saying a smartphone is just for making calls. There is so much more going on under the surface.
Because what if I told you that the latest science shows it's all of those things? This temporary organ isn't just some passive tissue. It's an active, bustling command center. We're talking a bodyguard that protects, a factory that communicates with hormones, and yes, believe it or not, it's even a kind of fortune teller that might just hold the secrets to our future health.
Okay, so first up, let's just talk about what a master multitasker this thing really is. Forget thinking of it as a simple filter. This organ is juggling about a dozen different jobs all at once. Right out of the gate, you need to know that the placenta is a full-blown endocrine organ. Now, what does that mean? It means it's a hormone factory, churning out the critical signals that orchestrate an entire pregnancy. It's not just a pass-through, it's the one calling the shots, making the hormones itself.
I mean, just take a look at its to-do list. It's insane. It's making hormones from scratch. It's basically rewriting the mother's metabolic rules to make sure the fetus gets enough energy. It's shooting out special growth factors to build the baby's brain, all while acting as this super meticulous manager for every single nutrient that passes through. This isn't just multitasking. This is like being the CEO, the COO, and the entire factory floor all at once. It's running the whole show.
But, making all this incredible stuff is only half the battle. The placenta also has to be the ultimate gatekeeper. It's basically playing bouncer at the door of the womb. And its security job, well, it's one of the toughest jobs imaginable.
And this is where it gets really, really tricky. See, on one hand, the fetus is technically a foreign body. So the placenta has to create this little bubble of fetal tolerance to stop the mother's own immune system from attacking it. But at the exact same time, it has to be this tough barrier to keep out all the nasty stuff like viruses and bacteria. It is one of the most incredible balancing acts in all of biology. Seriously.
So with a balancing act that delicate, you can probably guess what happens when things go wrong, right? A problem with the placenta isn't just a little hiccup. Because it's so central to everything, it can set off a huge and serious domino effect on the health of the entire pregnancy.
Let's take gestational diabetes, or GDM, for example. It's a perfect case study. So what happens is, when the mother's blood sugar gets too high, the placenta reacts by basically opening the floodgates. It supercharges its nutrient transporters, sending a massive rush of fuel to the fetus. And the result? A baby that grows way too fast, a condition they call macrosomia. All of that because of how the placenta responded.
And what's really wild is how the placenta reacts differently depending on the type of diabetes. With gestational diabetes, you often get this big, oversized, overachieving placenta. But with pre-existing type 1 diabetes, you can get the complete opposite, one that's underweight and underperforming. It's a perfect example of how this organ is constantly adapting to its very specific environment.
And look, diabetes is just one piece of the puzzle. Researchers are on the lookout for a whole bunch of other red flags. They're looking for things like the placenta separating too early, that's called abruption, or poor blood flow through its vessels, or really dangerous infections. All of these issues just go to show that when the placenta is in trouble, the entire pregnancy is at risk.
Okay, but this next part, this is where things start to sound like they're straight out of science fiction. Scientists are now realizing the placenta isn't just a disposable organ, it's more like a biological hard drive, an archive of the entire pregnancy. And it's a window into the future health of the child.
I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. By studying the placenta after it's been delivered, we might be able to predict future health risks for that person. This completely flips the script on how we see this organ, from something we throw away to an incredibly valuable diagnostic tool.
So the big question is, how do they actually read this biological story? Well, scientists are finding these tiny little things called biomarkers in cord blood that act like a final report card on how well the placenta did its job. And then you have these things called epigenetic clocks, which is a wild concept. Think of it like checking the mileage on a car. It can show how much wear and tear the placenta went through. An older placenta could be a huge red flag.
So if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. The 9 months that a placenta exists is not just a footnote in a person's life. The way it functions, the stress it's under, all of that can leave an imprint on a person's health for their entire life. And that just leaves us with this one Kinda mind-blowing thought. For centuries, this incredible organ has been routinely discarded, just thrown away. Now we know it's this rich biological archive, holding clues to our future. It really makes you stop and wonder, what other secrets have we been overlooking? What else are we just throwing away?